here at WKRG Plus. Join us on the Red Couch.
The school year is officially in full swing for students across the Gulf Coast, and with that comes not only new curriculum, but also some new tools designed to help make this year a success. Joining me on the Red Couch is Rena Philips, Communications Director for the Mobile County Public School System, to share what's new and improved this school year. Thanks for being here, Rena.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. The school year has kicked off. Students are excited. Teachers are back in the classroom. Let's talk about what are some of the biggest changes parents and students can expect this year.
So I think some of the biggest changes is just getting back into our routine, getting the normal of the new school year. Everybody's up a grade in school, so meeting the new teachers and finding out the new procedures for a school. We're continuing our safety measures that we put into place last year. Those have been great with keeping students more engaged and safer in the classroom.
Yes.
So, you know, last year we enacted the cell phone policy, and now the state is doing that statewide. So it was kind of nice that we already had put it into place, and so other school systems were asking us, what did you do, how did you do it, what's the reaction? And I think the teachers love it, the kids are more engaged, they're doing their homework, they're not as in trouble as much, their grades are improving, so it's just been a neat thing having the cell phones tucked away.
Absolutely, and I'm sure it was a change for them at first, but it's not like you're taking technology away. You all still have tablets and laptops that they can use. Talk about the new technology this year and how you're kind of distributing that between schools.
So we have a one-to-one district where each student has a Chromebook, and so they have that with them all day long. So they're definitely connected to the technology, but also we have that teachers, we tell them that the Chromebook is a tool. It's not a substitute for the teaching. We still want the teaching and learning taking place. So that's a good thing, because it's amazing when you see what they do. Like they're writing papers, they're still doing the same things, but then they also can convert it into PowerPoint presentations or Canva documents. Like they can present their ideas in more ways than in writing. Of course, I'm partial to writing, but then it's just neat because I have kids at home, and what they can do now on the computer with technology to still show that they're doing the learning that they're supposed to be doing, but in creative and imaginative ways, like through videos. You know, the teachers have to stay up on it so they can interest the kids.
And I love that, because there's so many resources out there, like you mentioned, Canva, PowerPoint, and they're kind of getting a taste of the real world, because now, you know, folks are using that in their job, their workplace. So they're getting a head start on that.
Yes.
Let's talk about sports. Okay. As we know, Friday Night Lights is starting this week. Talk about how the community can really be engaged with student athletes.
So I think, you know, sometimes we forget that they're kids and they want support. They want fans. They want your support. They want mom and dad there, whether they will admit that or not. You know, like I said, I have 2 teenage boys, but I think it's just coming out and supporting them, and at an athletic event, at an arts event, at a band event. We have an upcoming concert or a band showcase, I think you call it, Davidson, where all 12 high schools are going to participate. So I think your presence is the most important thing, and just being there and cheering them on the football field or wherever it is.
Absolutely. And you talk about presence. Talk about what that means for parents outside of school, right? We always think, well, we're sending our kids off to school, that's where they should be learning. But really, you need to follow up with that at home. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, one of my kids' least favorite questions probably, what is your homework? You know, like asking them that. And
open up your backpack.
Yeah, they're master procrastinators, but it's just being involved in asking them questions, because sometimes they may not open up. Like I was driving mine yesterday, and what'd you do? I don't know, you know, and it's like, okay, tell me something you learned today. Right. Tell me something that you did today. Like, what'd you do in history? What'd you do in math? Can you show me what you're doing? And just, you know, some of it I don't understand. I don't understand chemistry, but they are learning it, and sometimes they're excited to tell you about it.
Absolutely. And reading during the summer is a big thing too, because I was talking to a doctor, a pediatrician, who was talking about when you get into that routine in the summers and after schools, when you get back into the swing of things during school, it's not that hard. You're like, well, I've been doing this all along. Same with math. Maybe do a few equations on the weekends. It wouldn't be so hard Monday through Friday.
Yeah. And we do a lot of, like, particularly our middle and high schools, they'll have a summer reading book that you can read. And I think a lot of times they try to make it a fun book so that you'll be interested in it. But yeah, I think nothing replaces an actual book and reading it and having that quiet time to think things through. And, you know, I was talking to somebody about ACT prep, and they said one of the best ways to prep for that is just reading a book, because you learn the vocabulary, you learn to think, and you just get new ideas. We say in the school system, you know, up to kindergarten through third grade, you're learning to read, and then third grade and beyond, you're reading to learn. So it's just important to make sure that you're on top of that and find things they enjoy.
Right.
Not, you know, not always, you know, they're not always going to love the Scarlet Letter, you know, it's a good book, but, you know.
And I actually read that in school,
yeah.
So I get it. Let's switch gears a little bit. LaFleur High School, getting some new renovations, but not just that school, there's some other schools in the county. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it was a great day at LaFleur. Some of the alumni came out, but now what we have done, we've revamped it. So when it was Tillmanville High School, it faced St. Stephen's Road. And then when we redid it and became LaFleur, it faced Donald Street inside the neighborhood. And now what we've done is we've flipped it, so now it's back on St. Stephen's. And so the alumni love that, because they're like, this is the same address.
Right.
I think Merceria Ludgood, I was talking to her, she said, this is the same address of the school that I graduated from.
I love that.
And so it's great looking facility. We've redone the auditorium, looks great, because they have a great fine arts program there. And the kids there deserved a good auditorium so that they could be proud and have something, you know, the lighting, the seating was expanded. So it's something that all the kids can be proud of and something the community can be proud of as well.
Absolutely love that. Alumni support is amazing, right? And it's so needed, because the kids feel, wow, I see other people who've done great things and are coming back to support me. And so I'm glad that they're excited for that.
Yeah, and Miss McDade, the board member, was very
awesome.
excited. Yes, because she taught there for a long time, and it made her day. She was very proud.
I love it. Something else that's new is you all have an app. You've had an app, but now you have a new tool to really help parents and students stay connected with their school. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so last spring we redid our website and our app, and so we're encouraging all of our parents to download it. It's Mobile County Public Schools app. And it's great because you can see announcements, events. One of my favorite features is it has a calendar on it. And so I can pick and choose what dates I want to save. I can click on it and save it to my personal calendar. I can click on it and share it with my husband. So you can just stay, you know, there's things that you're going to want to go to, like if there's a 6th grade honors day you want to go to, but not the 7th grade, you just pick and choose the events that interest you
Works
and
for you.
that you want to, you know, soccer game versus, you know, whatever other sport. And so that's a cool feature of it. But then we also just launched a new communication tool through the app called Rooms. And so the first step, I know there's a lot of confusion, but the first step is you have to download the app and then click on Rooms and then use your phone number or email address that you use to register your child. And then that's going to give you that one-on communication or two-way communication with your teacher.
Right.
So so they can post messages and announcements. So the cool thing, when it's all put together, it's one place to talk to your teacher, to hear from your school, and to hear from the district. So if something's going on, like we have to close schools due to the weather, we can post it there and we can send out alerts. Also, my Power Hub is where parents are always wondering, where can I keep up with my child's grades and their attendance? It's a big deal. We want you to come to school, and you got to keep up with that. So we have a link in the app to my Power Hub, and you log in there and you can see what all their grades are and how many days they've missed.
Absolutely. And as a mom, talk about how important it is to have that two-way streak between the parent and the teacher.
It's so important. And I think that's one thing, some people don't think that maybe my teacher doesn't want to hear from me. They do. Yeah, like they want that support. And when you establish that relationship with the teacher, I think it also telling them, I support you, thank you for teaching my child, what can I do to help? And then that builds that relationship, so that then when you say, hey, he's struggling with this, what can I do at home to help? That sort of thing. It just makes, you know, statistics show a student's going to do better if that parent has that involvement and that communication.
Absolutely. I love that you brought up the calendar, because that's important, is staying up to date on what's going on, and it helps you be a little bit more organized. You know, parents have a lot going on too. They've got stuff with work and other extracurriculars, so that's really helpful. I love it. Anything else going on this upcoming school year as far as extracurricular programs? I know the Battle of the Bands is coming up. I'm really excited for that. 12 schools.
Yeah. I like when you can see the different groups of kids getting involved. And I think that's a cool thing because it's at Davidson, and that's one of the schools that has the new football stadium. And that's what we were stressing because, you know, when we built them, people were like, why are you building football stadiums? And it's like, well, that helps the entire community.
Yes.
And so what that has done for bands, for cheerleading, for all the other sports is given them a revenue generator. And so they get to host this event. It's a great way to showcase the bands, but it's also a fundraiser for the school. And so I think that's, and it builds that community too. Like when you go to these football games at Viger, LaFleur, BC Rain, Davidson, I know I'm missing somebody there. Williamson just got theirs open.
Yes,
it just
they
builds
did.
that community, and they're so proud. Like I went to Williamson one day this summer. ESPN was filming a documentary, and he has his nice stadium. The kids are on it. They're so proud, and he's got this speaker system so he can, you know, tell them what to do and play music. And it was like, I said, "You're loving this, Coach Coleman." He's like, "Yes, it feels like a professional college experience that the kids are getting." So all kids deserve that.
Absolutely. I love that. Before we go, I want to talk about the teacher shortage, not here, but really everywhere. Talk about how Mobile County is really making sure that we retain those teachers.
So we've started or enhanced a new teacher academy this year, and so we're inviting them when you're brand new, you need to connect with other teachers and you need to kind of learn what's going on because nothing really prepares you for that first day in the classroom. No college textbook does. And so it's kind of a way to connect them to each other so they have a network of people that they get to know who are also first-time teachers. We're connecting them to mentor teachers so they have somebody who has experience who can help them when they run across challenges or issues or want to just talk about something. But it's neat too because we went through our policies and best practices with them, and so I think the new Teacher Academy is helping with that. But we're always looking for teachers, and that's true nationwide.
Absolutely. Renee, you all are doing an outstanding job at the Mobile County Public School System. And as we said earlier, make sure you download the Mobile County Public School System app. You can find it in your app store and it's free.
Yes.
And then once you download it, make sure you hit that new tool that's called Rooms that will connect you directly with your student's teacher. Renee, thank you again.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.